Today we are going to learn how to answer questions in Spanish. You all have notes that correspond with this video. Please make sure you are filling in the notes as you are watching the video. Feel free to pause at any time if you need. When answering questions in Spanish, we do it the same way that we do in English. So some examples of this. If someone asks, "How are you?" you respond back, "I am fine." They are asking you the question and you are responding talking about yourself. Therefore, we use I. Another example is, "How is she?" She is well. Again, you are asking about someone else. So if I was to say, "How is Anna?" I would say, "Anna is well." You would respond using that person's name or pronoun. The last example in English is, "How are you and Amelia?" Since we are talking about you and someone else, this is going to be the we form. So we would respond back saying, "We are well." So again, in Spanish, we are going to respond the same way as we would in English. So let's take a look. Answering questions in Spanish. If someone asks you a question, if it is in the to form, you would respond back with I or yo. For example, ¿Cómo estás? Yo estoy bien. So again, if someone asks, "How are you?" you are going to respond in the yo form saying, "I am well." Next, if someone asks a question about he or she, you would respond with he, which is él, or she, which is ella. Keep in mind, this can also be a person's name as well. For example, we have ¿Cómo está Ana? Ana está, and fill in the rest of the sentence. That is an example of a name. Now let's look at a subject pronoun. ¿Cómo está él? Él está, and again we would fill in the sentence. So whenever we are asking a question about someone else, so he or she, we would respond with that pronoun or that name. Keep in mind that the conjugation of the verb is going to be the same in Spanish. Unlike the top one where it says asking you a question, estar is in the to form in the question, but the answer is in the yo form. Now let's look at usted. So if someone asks you a question, but using the formal version, you are still going to respond in the yo form. So if someone said, ¿Cómo está usted?" you would respond back saying, "Yo estoy," and then fill in the rest of the sentence. So keep in mind, the conjugation is going to change based off the subject. Lastly, if someone asks you and someone else a question, you're going to respond in the we or the nosotros form. For example, ¿Cómo están Julia y tú? Nosotros estamos. So if someone asks, "How are you and Julia?" you would say, "We are," and fill it in. The biggest thing in Spanish when answering questions is students forget to conjugate the verb and to change it. So make sure you pay attention who they are asking the question and who is responding. And you need to make sure that you are conjugating the verb to the subject. To continue on, we have 3 more. So talking about you all, vosotros, you are going to respond back in the we form. So if I asked you all a question, ¿Cómo estáis? How are you all? You would say, "We are, nosotros estamos." If you ask a question about them, so if you wanted to ask, ¿Cómo están Ana y Juanita? How are they? They are, ellas están. And ¿Cómo están Juan y Pedro? Ellos están. And then fill it in. Lastly, we have ustedes. So if I ask you all a question, you will respond in the we or the nosotros form. So, ¿Cómo están ustedes? Nosotros estamos bien. So just keep in mind that your verb needs to be conjugated to the correct subject. Now we are going to move on to sí or no. So yes or no. So when someone asks us a question, it's not always going to be just a blanket statement. They might ask you, do you like cereal? Do you like bacon? Things like that. And you need to respond with either yes or no. So to start off with yes or sí, if you want to answer yes to a question, you simply put sí at the beginning of the sentence. For example, ¿comes cereal? Sí, yo como cereal. Do you eat cereal? Yes, I eat cereal. Now, if you want to answer no to a question, it's a little bit different. So, you will still put the no at the beginning of the sentence, and then the next part depends on if there is a pronoun or not. So, if there is a subject pronoun there, or a name, you will write the pronoun and then no again. An example of this, ¿bebes jugo de naranja? No, yo no bebo jugo de naranja. So notice, yo is our pronoun. Therefore, you are going to put no in the beginning, the subject pronoun, and then no again. If there is not a pronoun, you are just going to put the word no twice. So, ¿bebes jugo de manzana? No, no bebo jugo de manzana. So, why do we put two no's in Spanish? Well, the reason why is because the first no is answering the question. So if they ask you, do you drink orange juice? You would say, no, I don't drink orange juice. So the first no is responding to the question saying no. The second no is to help you say don't. So again, in English, if you say, do you drink orange juice? You say, no, I don't. This is where the second no comes in. So all you need to know is if there is a pronoun or not. If there is a pronoun, we'll go in between the two no's. If not, you will list no back to back. So that is it as far as answering questions. So we are going to go ahead and practice. So on your next paper you have, it says practiquemos. So it says let's practice together. So looking at an example, it says come ustedes el pan tostado. And then next to it, it says yes. So we want to respond saying that we do eat toast. So when we are saying yes, it goes in front of the sentence. So we're going to say sí, and now we are going to respond to the rest of the sentence. Since it is asking you all, and it should be comen, since it is asking you all, we would say, yes, we eat toast. So we would say, sí, nosotros comemos el pan tostado. Now I want you guys to try to answer these 4 questions. So the first one, ¿bebe usted la leche? Do you drink milk? You are going to respond in Spanish saying, no, I don't drink milk. The next one, ¿comen ellos las papas fritas? Do they eat French fries? You will respond saying, yes, they eat French fries. Number 3, ¿compartes tú la comida? Do you share your food? You are going to say, yes, I share the food. And number 4, ¿bebéis el café? Do you all drink coffee? You would respond saying, no, we don't drink coffee. What I want you to do right now is to pause the video. I want you to go and answer these questions. When you are done, come back and we are going to go over those answers. All right, looking at number 1. ¿Bebe usted la leche? Do you drink milk? You should have no, I don't drink milk. No, yo no bebo la leche. Número 2. ¿Comen ellos las papas fritas? Do they eat French fries? Sí, ellos comen las papas fritas. Number 3. Do you share your food? Sí, yo comparto la comida. And number 4. ¿Bebéis el café? No, nosotros no bebemos el café. That is it as far as questions, so we are now going to go ahead. You can exit the notes and we will practice together.